What's up guys, Larry here from ColoradoGearGuide.com, and today we're going to discuss an E.D.C pouch. We have the Condor Ripaway EMT pouch. The philosophy of use for this bag as intended is to be used as a tactical EMT pouch, first aid kit, or med kit. And first I wanted to show you how it comes from the factory. The first noticeable thing that you'll see here is that on the back there's a large patch that's attached by Velcro. It's also secured by this buckle. But on the back of the patch here, you'll see some PALS webbing and some MOLLE webbing, which is intended for attachment to a tactical vest or a tactical backpack or bag so that it can be quickly accessed in an emergency trauma situation. So basically the way that it works is this is attached to the vest or the bag, and in a situation where you need a med kit quickly, you tear this away, and then you're able to easily access this bag free from your person or from your bag. Now you'll notice on the back here it does have a large swath of Velcro, so without that patch on it, it sort of becomes cumbersome and a little bit itchy and scratchy and picks up a lot of gunk on there. Once you flip the bag over, you see that it also has an accessory attachment strap here where you can attach it to the back to keep it closed that way. You can also flip this lid around to the back and have it attached back here. I wanted to show you this because the way I'm using this bag is a little bit different to fit my needs as an E.D.C. So we'll put this one to the side, and then I'll bring in the one that I carry on a daily basis. This is my personal E.D.C. I've been carrying this as my E.D.C. for about 1.5 years. And if you're new to the concept of E.D.Cs, also known as everyday carry, basically what you want to have in here is things that you need on a daily basis that you don't want to carry in your pockets necessarily, or maybe in a bigger, more cumbersome bag. For me, this does fit inside of a larger backpack that I call my E.D.C backpack, and I can discuss that in a later video if anyone's interested. But you could probably notice some differences right away. First of all, this is in desert tan instead of black. The most noticeable change is I've taken the Velcro and the removable patch off of the back of the bag here. And then on the front, I've also taken that additional closure strap off. The only other modification I've made to the outside of the bag are these zipper pulls here that I've taken the factory ones off and replaced them with basic black paracord zipper pulls. I like these a little bit better. They're easier to grab and a little bit more durable. So the current price for this bag on Amazon is about 18 bucks. It comes in about 4 different colors, and if you're interested, check it out. What I'm going to do now is just do a basic E.D.C bag dump. I'm not going to go too in depth any of the products. We can discuss those in details later, but I did want to show you what I have in here. Now at this point, it's really important to state that I believe it's super duper important to build your E.D.C around your personal situation. I live in a mountainous area, but it's very populated, and I work in an office environment. So you won't see a lot of survival tools in here. You won't see a lot of medical tools or instruments in here, or a huge first aid kit. You won't see any water gathering tools or purification systems in here. That's all part of another system. This is the one that I take with me every single day to work and in my car, etc. So let's go ahead and just jump right into the bag dump. Go ahead and open this up, flip it over, and I'm just going to kind of move from side to side here and show you exactly what's in here. Like I said, I'm not going to go into too great a detail, but again, this is my everyday carry that I take with me to the office and around in my vehicle, and sometimes as I travel. The first thing here is a Motorola dual USB universal charger so that I can charge any electrical products that are charged with a USB related cable. Next, and in conjunction with that, I'm an iPhone user, so I've got an iPhone 6 charger cable here. The next thing is a micro USB charging cable. It's nice and small, and it's good for charging my backup battery as well as my backup cell phone, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. Next is the Leatherman Juice C2, the classic. I carry the Leatherman Wave as my everyday carry multi-tool, but this is a really nice backup to have in my E.D.C just in case I separate this bag from my larger backpack, which is where my Wave lives. But great little multi-tool. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that already. The next thing is I've got some Rely-On glucose tablets here. These are great if you ever get the cases of hangriness like I do. These are basically sugar tablets. You can pop one of these and it'll make your blood sugar go up pretty quickly, and it'll kind of tide you over until you can get to some real food. And then around these I've got some hair ties, which are good for a variety of reasons. Next in this pocket, I've got the wonderful Mophie Power Station XL dual output USB backup battery, charged here in the middle by a micro USB port. This thing is absolutely fantastic. I mostly use it to recharge my cell phone when it starts getting low, and this thing will probably last me 2 to 3 weeks on one charge before I have to give it a little bit more power. So that thing is great. I've got a little bit of actual backup food here, just a Cliff Bar. Back in this pocket, I've got a regular black Sharpie, a gel pen, and I will give a shout out to this company, Tool. These Click gel pens are absolutely amazing. I've been purchasing these for years. They are a little pricey, but they last a while and write amazing. I absolutely love them. Next, I've got my first light source here. I work with electronics a lot, so having a light source or two to get into little nooks and crannies and see in the shadows is great. This is the Streamlight Stylus Pro, and it's no secret this is a great light. Plenty of amazing reviews out there on this. If you haven't heard of it, definitely go check it out. I recommend it. I've got a silver Sharpie, and I use this for labeling gear, memory cards, backup hard drives, all kinds of things. These things are great. Back in this pocket, I carry a simple 1 gallon Ziploc bag, which sometimes I put food in if I don't want it to spill out of my backpack. I use it to keep things dry, whatever I need it for, but this thing gets used a lot. Then I have a letter size pre-stamped envelope. I've never used this, but for some reason I keep putting one in every E.D.C that I build because I know at some point I'm going to need it. It takes up almost zero room, and I know one day I'll need it, so I'm going to keep that in there as well. Then I have a Write in the Rain memo book, little notebook, just in case I need to jot any notes down. If my cell phone fails, I use an Evernote app on there, but if I need to write something down to remember, I always have this with me. And then tucked inside here, I always keep some money, usually 30 to 50 bucks, just in case I need that cash. And that has bailed me out of several situations when I forgot my wallet at home or whatever the case may have been. All right, so that's all for that pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that back. And I'm going to bring it over, and this is the first view you get as to why I chose this bag over a Maxpedition bag, which Maxpedition bags are great. I love them. I have a few, but this mesh pocket right here is what won me over in the end to use this Ripaway EMT pouch as my main E.D.C. So this is sort of where I keep a lot of medicine and health-related items. The first thing is Excedrin migraine. I get migraines from time to time, and this thing will save your life if you need it. The next is a tube of airborne tablets. I'm around a lot of kids, and as you know, it's really easy to get sick in that situation. So I keep these. Anytime I feel the sniffles or a cough coming on, I'll pop one of these guys, and helps me stay healthy. Next, along the lines of medical, I have this travel pill box here, which is just full of various painkillers, headache medicine, cold medicine, anything like that that I can use or my friends and family can use when I have this around. This thing comes in handy in this access a lot. Next thing, the Stanley Fat Max 6-foot tape measure. This thing comes in so much handy. I can't even tell you how much I use this. It's great because it has the lock just like a full-size tape measure, and I believe when I got it, it did have a keychain on it, but I was not going to carry this thing around on my keys. I bought it specifically to go in my E.D.C, and so I took that off. Next, tucked away back here, we have the Adventure Medical Kit Lightweight and Watertight Medical Kit .3. This doesn't come with a whole lot of stuff. I've added some things on my own to make this a little bit more inclusive of what I might need on a daily basis, but the main reason I keep this med kit with me is it fits nicely right in this pocket where I want it to be. Adventure Medical Kit, Ultralight Watertight Medical Kit .3, great. Next thing, and this is one of the most important things I carry in my E.D.C with me. Nowadays it's so cheap to have a backup cell phone, and this thing has bailed me out of several situations where maybe my cell phone was dead and I didn't have a way to recharge it, or whatever the case may have been. This is an extra 10 bucks a month on my cell phone plan, basic little flip phone, voice only, no text, no data, but it's there when I need it. I also let a lot of friends borrow this when they've lost their cell phone or if they have an emergency or whatever. So backup cell phone, very important part of my E.D.C. And I have a small package of tissues here that I got on a recent flight on American Airlines. I believe those were free, so that's a nice little addition. And last but certainly not least, again, The main reason that I chose this bag over a Maxpedition bag is this mesh kit. Now inside here is a whole lot of little stuff that otherwise would be rolling around in the main compartments of the E.D.C if it weren't for this, and I would have to get another separate bag or little box to keep all this stuff in within my E.D.C. So I like that it's inclusive, I like that it's right here. And the inside is messy, but there's a small amount of stuff in there and I can access it quickly without having to wonder exactly where it is. So we'll go ahead and dump this pocket out. First, got some Visine eye drops that come in handy. Next, a Lexar 32 gigabyte micro SD card. I'm a big GoPro user, and this is a nice backup card to have in case the one that I have in my GoPro gets full. Next, a Bic mini lighter. Now this is a tip that I got from Urban Prepper on YouTube. I've started buying all white mini Bics because it allows you to see the amount of fluid that's left in the lighter. So really convenient and great idea. Next, I have several batteries. So I've got a mixture of AA and AAA, the most common types of batteries I encounter in my daily situation. I've got another backup light here. This is the Petzl E Plus light. This is actually a headlamp. The head strap is a simple retractable cord. It can also be used as a table lamp if you extend this little stanchion here. You can put it on the table and balance it if you need to look at something down on the table. A roll of duct tape. Now this is made by Survive Outdoors Longer, and I go through several rolls of this a year because you never know when you need duct tape, and this is nice and compact, fits nicely in the E.D.C or anywhere else you want to carry it. I've got a backup pair of nail clippers here. I live in Colorado where the air is dry, so I need those quite a bit. Next, this is really important. I've got a PNY 16 gigabyte mini USB thumb drive. Now this thing comes in handy because it has backup copies of all my important documents such as my passport, my social security card, my license, and a couple of debit cards. In case I'm ever in a situation where all my identification goes missing or is stolen, I can use this as a backup to discuss with the authorities about getting some new identification. Next is the full-size SD card adapter that the micro SD card plugs into. Because some laptops and or card readers don't have a native micro SD port, you can use this to plug into the much more common SD port. Next, speaking of that, is a Transcend USB 3.0 card reader. Now I got this on Amazon for a few bucks, and it accepts SD cards and micro SD cards, if you can see that. This thing comes in great handy when you encounter a computer situation that does not have an SD port or micro SD port. So anyway, that is the bag dump of my E.D.C using the Condor Tactical Gear Rip-Away EMT pouch. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to write them down below. If not, have a great day, and thanks for watching. Check out this video and more at coloradogearguide.com.